Alright, everybody, we are back. So, we have. I didn't realize that Conqueror didn't win his series, but now we have it. So it is Absolute Utopia versus Revnak. So, I'm not sure exactly what happened in the Conqueror Absolute series. Those games have just now been updated to ESOC, so that was a 3-2 for Absolute Utopia. I'm not sure exactly. I want to see. Let's see the civs real quick before. So, Absolute won game 1, British versus Italy against Conqueror. He lost game 2, or no, he won game 2 as Spain versus Haudenosaunee, and then Conqueror won Italy versus, or Brit versus Italy. Conqueror won France versus Japan, but then he lost game 5, India versus Ottoman. So, I'll go back and rewatch that series later. But quite interesting. And then let's see what else we had. We did have, so Keister beat Kevin. The other series in that group was Warsword versus Ezad. Again, you guys can check those out here. But we're going to go ahead and hop in. I think everything is set up. Everything is fine. Here we are. So good luck, have fun to our people. And I will turn up the sound just a little bit. I'll need to have to. So we don't have. Tete had to go, so I'll solo cast for the rest of this. We won't have the more information. I'll get that for the next game. And then one last thing, and then we'll be all set to go. I guess I'll toss that on as well. Alright, there we go. So we have the Haudenosaunee. Breeze is playing the Haudenosaunee versus Absolute Utopia's Hausa. So, quite an interesting matchup again. B. Fisher is very strong. So he's going to go for early docks, get out fishing boats as fast as he can, get a little bit of an eco lead there. Whereas Hausa's kind of, their main focus is to go Corsair Marksman, grab as many TPs as possible. This is a big TP map, so that's kind of their focus there. And let's see if I could, that should make it run a bit faster. Perfect. So Breeze is picking up 50 food. Going B. Fisher. So he's doing it the best way possible, where you have all your villagers chopping wood so that you can get as many fishing boats in queue as possible early on. You want to get at least one fishing boat, then drop the longhouse, and then you can switch vills over to food. Because 6 vills will gather enough wood to have constant villager production and constant fishing boat production. And then I actually want to check out this Hausa build. So Hausa starts with 4 cows. You eat 1 out the gate, and then you use 1 once you get to around 9 villagers so that you can drop a hut. So you trade it at your livestock pen or your livestock market, and you get 150 wood. And then you also pick up these little hunting dogs. So they're not quite as good as regular hunting dogs, but because you have the granary there as well, they're a little bit better overall. It's about 15% instead of the usual 10%. Pretty standard stuff so far. Nothing really going on. Breeze harassing the Explorer. Getting the Explorer on as low HP as possible is good. And then Absolute Utopia dropping down a TP. Breeze will also look to build a TP in transition. So, again, it doesn't matter too much where he drops down this first TP. So, Breeze could either get this one, or you could drop and grab this one. That is interesting. So he's using the confusion so that this unit is a treasure guardian, so it will attack Breeze's unit. I didn't know that. Also going for hardened axes. This is kind of like Gang Saw, but just a cheaper version. It's 50 food and it gives you 5%. So it's kind of like the TAD upgrades. Or the TAD Civ upgrades. And then another thing that Absolute Utopia is going to do is he's going to send in this Hausa Kingdom. So what will happen is he'll send it about when he gets to this corner here. And actually he's going up with Akin. So what this does is he's not going for Corsair Marksman. He's not going for an outpost in Corsair Marksman. He'll start training this as well once he gets to 100 wood. And then he should be sending in House of Kingdom just about now. So far he'll have 3 TPs. He can actually bring back his Explorer and build this one. And maybe he's not going for House of Kingdom. Oh no, there it is. So it's a little bit slow, but that's alright. What's going to happen is he will get a university builder, which he'll probably drop right here, because he'll have his town center as well as his trading post. And then he'll also send that trade builder to go build this TP, and his Explorer is building the last one. Breeze, on the other hand, he aged up with the messenger so that he could get 4 axe out and apply pressure. But Absolute Utopia is going to have Akins. So what Akins are they're kind of musketeers on steroids. And actually, it's actually worked out for Absolute Utopia that this wasn't there upon age up. Because if it was, then the 3 Kanya would have killed it. So he wants to have this TP built because he's also sending in Berbers. So he's going to get a 6 Vil shipment, and they're kind of like CDBs. So taking down the TP, applying pressure, while also I think he's building fishing boats. Maybe he just built them in transition. Yeah, I think he just built fishing boats in transition, and now he's going to be going, he's adding on a few where he can. Just kind of full aggression to an extent, because he has areas on the map that are vulnerable. So he wants to go take as many of these TPs as he can not really take them, but just take them down. So that Absolute's getting less influence. And then it'll be interesting how they both follow up after this. Bourbon, they do have a tech where you can, depending on how many shipments and technologies you have, you can send this and then you get XP for however many shipments you have. And we have Raiders coming out. And Crossing Festival. So, let's see. So you got a 5 vil shipment. And these vils are a little bit better than regular vils. But I think the token of 20% better. It might even be 33% better. So it's quite a strong shipment. It's like getting, I mean, it's probably equal, a little bit more than 3 settler wagons, but you have to invest into making TPs for that to come through. And we're just making Muscuss, essentially. So the reason these units are so good is they do area 1 damage. So they do a little bit of splash damage to everything that they shoot. So we'll see if Breeze puts his units into stagger mode so that he doesn't get that that bonus. We have a little bit of a scuffle going on. There's only 6. There are only 6 tomahawks here, so going a bunch of raiders, like this could be troublesome. There's 5 over here, but they're burning down the TP, so Breeze probably has to wait and just hold back a little bit until these tomahawks are done. Then he can grab the whole army and put them together down here towards this new TP, or this last 2 TPs. Absolute getting the Nat TP back. And then might be considered an age. I mean, he has a decent amount of units, but Breeze has way more units. And these raiders are quite flimsy. They're like worse step riders. I mean, they do 33 damage to Ayena, but they only do 15 against Tomahawk. So I mean, they're essentially a step rider with a little bit more siege, a little bit more HP, but they're quite more expensive. Next game we'll have the more info up top, but we don't have it right now. I'll do an add-on and then I'll restart my game so we can have it. Yeah, so I guess the idea is just wait. I mean, he could go burn down this war hut because there's nothing there, and these have decent siege. So they almost do. There's probably about almost 400 a throw, so they need 5 throws to take down the war hut. But they need to get out of there. I don't know if the war hut's worth losing 5, 6. Again, tomahawks just shred shred these cav, it takes like three hits. However, this is really good though, because everything's kind of grouped up. He's shredding through these musketeers, or these tomahawks. And what else do we have in here? So he's shipping this card so that he can make them from the war camps. So he can start making a bunch of these Akin. If he gets a big enough mass, I mean, they will shred the tomahawks, and then the raiders will have a field day, but he needs some more time. Because there's just way too many tomahawks here for the raiders to do their job. But looks like we're gonna go for a fight. Nope. And every time Absolute goes in, he's just slowly bleeding out a couple units at a time. Although this is kind of the area where he wants to be in. He has taken out the Explorer with the TC fire. It's just, I think it's just too few Akin for him to actually take a fight. And I mean, Breeze has just done a great job of, he's not losing units. Like, all these trades are just dwindling down this big right-click force and using his Hyena to reposition, pick off an Akin here or there, keep this Raider mass from getting too big. So there goes another one more, and again, this is kind of, maybe this is the fight. Like, they shred through the musketeers, but they really need to be, they need to be shooting. And I just think it's a bit too late. Breeze has done a good job of keeping this number from getting too scary. Focusing the right units. All of these raiders want to be on the Hyena because they get multipliers versus Hyena, but they don't get multipliers versus any of the other units. So Hyena just getting to shoot and sit and shoot is where you want to be. And at this point, it's kind of, Breeze has water, Breeze has enough anti-musketeers, anti-heavy infantry to deal with all the Akin. There's enough tomahawks here to deal with the cav switch. There's no way that Absolute can age, and it's just kind of how things are going. Even popping out a couple of these levied bowmen to help out. Okay. Dervishes will help. They do melee damage, so they actually clean up really well. And I mean, a lot of that Hyena mass has been cleaned up, but is it enough? For Breeze, we still have 11. Yeah, I mean, he still has a decent mass. He has on 60 villagers now. He's adding in Conure Horsemen, adding in a second War Hut, and there's only about 12 villagers out here, so I think at this point Breeze just is going to decide, alright, it's time to just flood units in. So, Kanye on the way. He has water, continue to train just one fishing boat at a time. It's perfectly happy doing that. And then just continually keep as many villas built up as possible. Little maraudering musketeer found these villas down here. Send word back to the Conure West to go there. Have some more raiders coming out. There's still 10 tomahawks here to deal with the raiders. Just drop them into melee. They do well when there's units grouped up, but they don't do too well versus the Hyena. The reason being is that there's 30% range resist. And there we go. Game 1. Wow. That is mind-blowing to me. Hausa has more res. I mean, the thing about the cows is that when they're fully fattened, they bring so much more influence in. But I guess, yeah, you probably want to eat a couple of them, but this is just insane to me. Also, I guess influence is included in that, right? If you go to economy, does it tell me? Right, influence is included in all resources gathered. Okay. Okay, so it's mostly just influence then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting. And I think this will tell the tale. Just as you can see, there's no units getting lost at any point, and just Absolute's kind of bleeding a couple units here and there. And at the end of the day, that's the important part, is not bleeding units. Like if he would have, it's about 10 units there, another 10, so if there's 20, so like 20 more units, be much closer fight, but it's kind of hard to do. It's not, like, that's the whole purpose of this game, is that you kind of force your opponent into not doing what they want to do. So, well done by Breeze, well played. And I'm gonna restart my game and put the spectate mod on so that I can have the more information. I'll be right back, everybody. So it's 1-0 for Breeze. Alrighty. We are back. So we have game 2. It is Italy mirror on Saxony. So this ought to be interesting. I'm excited to see how these two do it. So far, we have the market already being finished from Breeze, and he already has a tech in queue, but he's holding off on building the house just yet. Where on the other side, Absolute Utopia is holding off and just going straight for hunting dogs. So I think this is a little bit of micro, and what you tend to want to do is you want to send 2 vills to gather the food crates and then 1 to gather the wood crate, so that you can build the market as soon as possible and start getting in these techs. And then you can get as many technologies as you can and get as many vills out as possible. As far as this is Krabbit spam, there will be no Krabbits for the remainder of the tournament. They have been banned from the tournament as they are far too good. So they are gone. And interesting. So we have hunting dogs coming in, and then Absolute Utopia is going to go for steel traps. So I think I might be wrong. I don't know. But so he's going to place our mines, and then he's going to do steel traps afterwards, but he has to finish this house as well, because it'll be a few seconds of idle time if he doesn't. So that's tight macro. Oh, he does buy. So he does buy the wood to do it. But now he has to finish the house. So very interesting build from Absolute Utopia. And just dropping a second house. Okay. Okay. We'll see. This is his idea. We'll see how it pans out. On the other side, we see Breeze has just gone for the standard tier 1s of everything. Right. So the thing about building a house is that it takes 80 seconds to build a house. So if the architect was coming over here and building a TP, I think it takes 120 seconds, or maybe it's 80. But essentially, so it's 120 seconds because he's halfway done. So you get a 200 resource for 120 seconds, or you could get 100 resources for 80. So you typically never want your architect building houses. And I say never. There are times, like for instance when you're aging up, this right here, that's a good time to build one. But they can be more efficient doing other things. And so, again, rule of thumb, like if you have a TP, you always want to put it on wood. Your factory, you always want to put that on wood. However, there are times when you do deviate from that because it is better macro. So I'm intrigued to see Absolute's. Like, he has an early steel traps. He's also going to get in blunderbuss, so he's going to have 20 vills. He's going to be at 20 vills while aging up. He's going to age up at like 350, so he'll be up at like 540, but unless he sends in advanced politicians. He could send advanced politicians in age 1. So I'm interested. We'll see which build pans out. And then right after you build the trading post for the build that Breeze is going for. And he paid for this. And he throws 100 food in there instantly. Interesting things, guys. Interesting things. Because food gathers at double the rate that wood does, and you can get things right here. So far we've had some, as people have learned this civ more, different builds have been coming out. And Michelangelo is just building a line of houses over here for absolute utopia. I mean, in this matchup, you just go as greedy as possible. Like, almost perfect macro. It's kind of like Mito's China build. He just stays age 1 for a little bit longer and then just macros perfectly, so when he hits age 2, he just goes straight to age 3. So we got Breeze going for the second architect. I also like doing this. It cuts your build time in half for the architects, and then you also get the basilica. So this is essentially making this 100% more efficient. And we don't have amalgamation. That's another thing that you can do is Italy. And advanced politicians came in after. Yes. Advanced politicians came in after he aged, so he's going to age up to age, he's going to get to age 3 really fast, and he's going to go up with the marksman, which is the 9 musketeers. So this is a really fast FF that could be punishing to what Breeze is doing. So extra greed early turned into faster, stronger aggression. And then we got walls coming up. We have 3 Lombards already. So that means Breeze is getting quite the bit of shipments. So he's already has 3 shipments and he's stacking his shipment, whereas Absolute's only sent 2 and he only has 1. So Breeze is essentially a full shipment ahead. And dropping an artillery foundry behind this. You can also build artillery foundries in age 2 as Italy, because you just can't as this civ. So, musketeers, villagers coming forward. Michelangelo is not done with his line of houses yet. So, he's still building those houses. Again, one of the things you can also do is Michelangelo could have been building this barracks forward, and you spend 100 resources on it to finish it early, and then a vill can build a house. Another did you know? So we got 2 Falcons following this up. Gaslighting coming in. Always a good tech when you want to win an argument or get a free vill. And then we do have advanced politician coming in from Breeze as well. He went up with the marksman, so he'll get the 9 musketeers. And he's macroing to get a Colv and Q as soon as he hits up. He will need a house. He has the house. Perfect. And I mean, there's really not too much that you want to burn down here. Like all of this, maybe the Basilica is the most valuable of targets here, but Lombards aren't really that valuable. Behind this we have 9 musketeers. So 5 more musketeers, vet musketeer, and then 9 musketeers coming in. And I don't think Breeze will quite have. He'll just have 1 Colv, which will. Where does it pop out? Okay, it does pop out safely. So he'll be able to take off 1 Michelangelo. He'll be able to get another Vil. He did see the Cult though. And he does see the Falconets. I mean, now pull back. You saw the Falconets. So this will end kind of any push. We still have the 9 Musketeers. All of these will be cleaned up. So Breeze is going to hold. Behind this, again, he has these Lombards working. So they're continually converting experience. So these are 2 experience per second, which is about 2 TPs. But Absolute did get a TP, like essentially 2 TPs as well. Like killing the church, that's a TP. The TP is an actual TP. And now Breeze is going for the 1500 coin. So what this does is, again, it converts to food and wood. So essentially he doesn't really need anybody on wood. What he can do is he could pop in another 300. Yep, there he goes. He pops in 300 wood in here. So again, this just transfers resources. So wood turns into 1.5 food, and coin turns into 1.5 food. So what he's doing is he essentially has all of these resources changing for each other and just gathering more food for him. Another Basilica going down. Just 1 Architect. Michelangelo has switched to building a Lombard, and then he's going to keep building Lombards. He created his L, his little villa, and he's done now. And we have... Ooh, nicely done. So this costs 300 food, but it makes his age up 20% cheaper. So Absolute will be able to age up for 20% less, which is 600 food, and then a little bit more than 360 coin off. So nice little pickup for him. Getting a TP, buying this card, and then later on, if ever he has a chance, he could buy this card. Also a nice card, so you get a villager and, or you get a grenadier with every shipment. If it was every tech, then you get a villager and a gren, but it's not. And then also at some point he could build forts if he wants. You could also play this map with like Portuguese, do spice trade and furrier, and then press this button after you've sold a bunch of food to reset the market back to good sell rates. And then you have the House of Hanover. So this is a random shipment. So you might want to go pick that up, because getting a random Age 4 shipment would be pretty nice. On the other side of things, after the Basilica, we're going to get a Rax going down. Breeze is also aging up. He's going up with the Engineer, so that's 3. Yep, they're both going up with 3 Falconets. And so far, Breeze has made 1 Culverin and sent Minutemen. These 9 Musketeers were from the Age Up, and then the 2 Falcons were from the card. Basilica's coming up. Now we have 2 Architects. Love to see it. But this is not good without this. The Basilica, this Afuzi card is the reason why. I mean, it's still decent, but the big difference is that you're getting this extra XP. So 5 Falconets from both sides. 4 Colbs is the first shipment. Breeze is getting back to 2 Michelangelos. And probably 4 Colbs will be his first shipment. But he needs... Oh. So he's going up with more coin because he's currently housed. Again, at this point, if you're going to be chopping wood, you might as well pick up the flume, log flume. Oh, going for 3 Michelangelos. Interesting. And like, if you're gonna build houses, you might as well just buy them. And then have these guys like build TCs out in places. But it is time for the skirmishers to start coming out. And Breeze is kind of geared up quite better. He has more late game cards. So one of the biggest cards that he has is red shirts, which makes his units 15% better. And then he also has the arsenal. Okay. They both have the arsenal, that's good. But we do have Papal Lancers coming out. So far though, Breeze is going to lose the Cold War. Because he decided to go, he went double greedy. So he went finances, so 3,000 coin, and then a factory wagon. So he is making 2 coals, but 2 coals still lose to 4. Also, these skirms are really good, but this is a little ambitious. I don't think they were ever gonna do too much. Lombard's being built, houses going down. We got 3 Colves coming in. Haha. So there's a raid going on, but 3 Papal Lancers there to clean that up quite nicely. So we do have 4 Colves. And we don't have H4 Colves yet. He should be aware of the Colves. And he has the factory in now. But where is... There is no artillery foundry. The reason why the artillery foundry is so important is he needs to get Springalds. Springalds are oh so important. Breeze Macaroon to get the Bourbon Allies. So Bourbon Allies coming through. These are 25 Jack Musketeers. And they need to be here yesterday. Because these 3 Papal Lancers are going to come switch up. Oh, no, shoot. Okay, what did he get? He got a Falk and a Colv for a shot on the Falk. These, oh no. Okay, whew. I mean, meanwhile, these Falconets are just going to town on everything else. Uh-oh. The Colv shot and then... Oh! But he misclicked. He clicked on the Musketeer instead. And then these units will come from here. And at this point, it's going to be 2 Colvs to 0. because that Colb's about to go down. Oh, it's one Colb, but there's still... These units aren't great against a bunch of Falconets. Oh my goodness. Just the way that the Falconets are shooting one at a time is just perfect for clearing that stuff out. And now... 2 Falcs left, 1 Falc left, and... GG. I think the big determinant of this whole game was this card right here. Going for... I mean, he could go for either one of these, but I don't think in this matchup you can go for both. I think you have to grab this the Colves is so important. Because where Breeze has to spend resources on getting the Colves, I mean, it's a 2,000 thing shipment, or a 2,000 resource shipment, and it just very important. But well played from Absolute. Well played indeed. That puts the series to 1-1. So 1-1. And now we can get things rolling for real. Because I don't have to reset or do anything like that. So we can just hop into the next game. If we look at resources gathered, Absolute a little bit above because he was the one putting pressure on the whole game. Probably the reason, like the story will be Idle Villagers a little bit higher on Breeze's side because they were defending. So, and then this right here is just the 1,000 coin, whereas Breeze sent the was transferring resources here. So, well played to both. I am excited to see how that mirror continues to evolve because we'll see it a lot. And I think it's just getting 4 Colves first. I think the 4 Colves is very important. Maybe not first, but it's definitely one of the first cards that you send. Alright. New map, who this? So we have China versus Portugal. There we go. So I can't remember who Breeze said that he banned. Yeah, I don't remember. But apparently China was left up. China is one of the stronger civs in the meta right now. I do say that there are some civs that are better, but definitely a stronger civ. And again, this is going to be... One of the things about Finland is you get 10% bonus wood chopping. So any civ that can utilize that well is really good. So ports, if they're going water, they can utilize that quite well. The thing about this water is that there's only 3 whales on it. So again, not the biggest water map. But again, it does have that 10% gather rate on wood. So I would say the best civ on this map would probably be Haudenosaunee. But then there's also, I think there's an auto build that counters Haudenosaunee very well. And then in that case, you want to play Germany, because Germany counters auto really well. So it just, but Haudenosaunee wasn't available for Breeze because he used it in game 1. And we see schooners coming out. So it is now in Absolute's court to figure out a way to stop this from happening. How does he contest water? He does have a couple water contention cards. He has East India Company. Nice card. It is schooners Except instead of getting faster train time, you get a dock. So, nice card. And on the other side, like I said, there is... oh. So instead of going for a dock right away, Bruce decided he would do a market. Age up a little bit faster, and then get gang saw a little bit faster. So you can have 20% gathering. And then one last thing I gotta do. Because it'll drive me crazy. I'm scrolling all over the place. There we go. So this is an interesting variation. A lot of times you'll see Portugal go for TP first, but that does give China something to do. It's like, okay, if I go for a TP first, then China can just go burn down that TP in H2. Whereas if you're going to market, you kind of get another benefit, and then you have a dock here, you can build your TC here, build a little wall. There's not really much that China can do. So China doesn't have a great option of, or an easy option, an easy exploitable option of what to go target early on. So then China will probably have to do like an FF. But other than that, pretty standard. One of the things that is a little bit different about Absolute's build is he didn't go for tea leaves. So interesting to see what his plan is. So agent up Summer Palace, that's standard. Putting bills. So it's looking like a typical FF. So he will probably go 700 cord, 700 wood. Try to get like hand mortars. Something like that to contest this water. He might build a castle up here. Or you might see an early village. Deny the water and then focus on playing against ports. On the other side of things, Bree's now dropping down his dock. Gonna start building fishing boots. Agent up with the quartermaster, pretty standard. Gonna get up about usual time, going 14 bill. Everybody on food. So I guess he didn't get gang saw. He did. We'll see. So TC probably gonna be dropped here. 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 So he doesn't... He knows that he can't be going blockhouse if he's checked his deck. However, he does see that it is scouted. Like, I feel when you see this as China, you just pivot. Like, I would love for Absolute, after he sees this, to say, nah, we're not doing this. Just drop a barracks. Get it. But he's committed to the FF. That's what he will do. Doing a good job of going and seeing where is the water. There's the water. So Absolute now knows absolutely Breeze is fishing. In the meantime, we have a stable. So a lot of times what used to be the meta is you used to always start stable against China, and while they were doing their FF, you would go ahead and send your cav directly across. I like this from Breeze. So he's kind of doing a bee fisher almost. So he has a few vills on wood, just pumping out a couple fishing boats at a time. And then he's using his crates, so he's actually going to macro to age while being aggressive and being greedy. Very clean build. Gonna pick up the Explorer, which is always a nice pickup. These cav are gonna go in and do a little raid. Just be annoying, really. They're not gonna kill anything, and absolutely going up with Confucian Academy. So this is an all-in. Yeah. I mean, you go up with this wonder to have more units out early to do early age 3 pressure. So now, I'm guessing Breeze will cancel these husks. And just age himself? I don't know, we'll see. He's definitely spending all of his resources. I figured he would cancel those. But we'll see. Again, these units are really just to delay. And at this point, Absolute can make sentries. Nice villager micro, just punching down the husks, doing a little bit extra damage. There, the skirm's out. And he's gonna finish. So, I'm guessing Absolute's gonna go... I mean, he's gonna go... Oh. So, what I want to see, please Absolute do it. In the Brit consulate, there is a caravel and petards. He could send the caravel and petards, drop the petards off, they blow up the dock, caravel cleans up the fishing boats. We'll have to wait. I don't know exactly how much export it costs, but it's a little bit more than what he has. But he is going for intervention. Always a great card to pair with the Confucian Academy. So he can take this fight. No problem for him. He pulling his muskets in. These are like age 2.2 or age 3.2 musketeers. CM coming in. And another dock getting dropped down, so Breeze is doubling down on... If he pairs CM with these husks, he could clean up. He has the macro for it. It'll just be... Yeah, this town center will survive long enough. So, his focus is to take down these musketeers, take down as much anti-cav as he can. Here come the Minutemen and town militia. There come conscription. And there's the explorer to snare. So there's a big cleanup. It's an expensive cleanup, but still a cleanup nonetheless for Breeze. Absolute Utopia actually doing pretty well to escape with some units. But again, this just gives him more time. More time for his water boom to pay off. So, continually getting as much value as he can out of these Minutemen because they eventually become useless in about 2 seconds. So, more units coming out. Breeze forgot a villager. A villager got lost. Rallied forward. And then this will probably take a military shipment right here. And then he'll be able to clean up this entirety And then he could go right back to sieging the TC. Good job from Breeze repairing the TC. But now, I mean, it is expensive. So, outpost coming down. And this is where I wouldn't actually send that. I just send my hand mortars. Hand mortars, good unit at dealing with tanky bases. Outpost does get up. And, I mean, it's just expensive. I mean, he is idling 9 bills, but you will be losing a good bit of your army for this. Again, I think the water situation needs to be addressed soon. Because the longer this goes on, the more of an issue it is. But again, it kind of does fizzle out because he can only have 12 vills on it long term. But Breeze has decided it's time to age up. So he's going to be going age 3. Meanwhile, China, if you put all things considered, China's probably about 38, 39 vills. He does have a flying crow, so he can start knocking down the TC. And then he's probably, since he hasn't shipped the caravels and the petards, I'm guessing he's just gonna do 6 musketeers from the consulate. So he has organ guns coming out. He has the racks up, Castadors, Dragoons. TC will be going down, but by the time this goes down, the villagers will just run to this back one. This one has town militia. Can defend from there. Absolute Utopia. Not changing this to the, oh! Now the organ guns have to pop at home. Now they can get some siege damage done here. But, again, he has conscription, which means he can make 15 or however many, 11. I think it's 15. Quite a few more Minutemen. All the while, do we have a new shipment? I don't think anything's been... Ah! Chad boat has hit the floor. So, Breeze will have to deal with that. He just sent organ guns, so he will have to make a boat of his own to deal with that. So, he sells a bunch of food, gets a frigate in queue. All the while, Absolute Utopia does see the organ gun, so he does pull back. And shipping a frigate as well. But Flying Crow will be dead before the TC dies. Organ guns getting great value. And this is where things are going to start getting rough, I think. I mean, he does have hand mortars on the way. So he will have hand mortars to deal with the organ guns. He will have hand mortars to deal with the TC. He does have a reasonable army. But at this point, he is losing the water. Or losing what control he had over the water. He can also broadside. There's the broadside. But the other frigate is stuck behind fishing boats. But once the other frigate shows up, it'll be a one-sided fight. Alright, the hand mortars are out. That's one organ gun down. He does get a Vil trying to build. So he will get 3 Vils building the wall. And now he can take down the TC. But Chad boat's down. That TP's forfeit. He might be able to get the consulate as well. And we got some Mamsh coming through. So, military advantage to Absolute. Eco advantage to Breeze. And let's see when. So, turning his focus over to the organ gun again. Nice little snipe on the organ gun. There's more arquebusiers here. But there's Minutemen. There's Town Militia. And this will kind of clean up the remainder of Absolute's units. So, Minutemen, Town Militia getting tons of value this game, being called twice. Also, the town center just taking down a flying crow by itself, deterring any aggression. Here comes the second flying crow. I mean, it gets one shot off, kills about 6 Minutemen. While the explorer is still snaring, allowing the goons, Minutemen, Castors to clean up the rest of the army. And at this point, the army advantage has been neutralized, and Breeze still has his bigger eco. So I'm guessing it's not too much longer. Maybe once he sees the Mams, picking up a few more Vils. He's already taken down the TP. And now these Vils will go down. Kind of nowhere left for Absolute to gather. I mean, he could gather here in the middle. But, yep. Absolute calls GG, and well played to Breeze. So it's now 2-1. As we can see, just uncontested water. He had some tempo going for him with the military. But it just didn't seem enough. GG there. Most made unit, Minutemen. But Absolute never got to explore this side of the map. We will go on to game 4. So that will change it up. 2-1. On to the next. Let's do some quick option things. There we go. Alright. So, Germany versus Lakota. Interesting. So Absolute is kind of a big fan of the FI, but I know that there are some Cossack daredevils on this match, or on this map that people have been using. So it will be interesting. As we can see, he sold food, or maybe he just picked up enough coin that he can, I mean, he can just buy wood. So he can buy 100 wood, and then chop for 100 wood, or kill this treasure. Ah. That's a lot of, so he did sell. But Breeze also goes market and buys 100 wood. And then he'll have 200. Gonna go build a TP and base. Already started hurting. This I like a lot. This I like a lot. Let's see if we can figure out what everybody will be going for. This looks standard stuff. Ah, the winged hussars got changed. So these units are like 6 cuties now. Ooh, interesting. So looks like Breeze will try to like build a tower and base and go racks. Where looks kind of, I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. There is adoption in here. So he does have the just stay age 3 and build a bunch of villager option. Also 20% HP on Wakina. There's also a Axe Rider one that could be used as well. Other than that, they're just picking up treasures. Breeze has gotten some wood, some food, some XP, some more wood, some more XP. So, a lot of decent treasures here. Some more food. And then Absolute's gotten a bunch of gold. Little wall coming in. You already know what's coming. Like, you know what Lakota's gonna do. There's a war hut. Could go here, could go here, could go here. But Breeze is quite aware that there is gonna be some war hut shenaniganery. So, because of this, because he lost his Explorer, what he's gonna have to do is he's probably gonna have to drop a TP. I mean, a church instead. And then what else is he aging with? Quartermaster. So again, 350. So 430 is when you can expect stuff in your town. They got 4 Axe Riders coming through. Absolute Utopia has no intentions. Absolutely no intentions of actually putting pressure on. But look what he's done. That's 100 wood by itself. No TP. More walls. And, I mean, damage is done. Like, all of these villagers and all of the age up. This is what they've been doing for the last 2 minutes of the game. Absolute Utopia sees this. I'm actually surprised that he continued to send the 4-axe. Nice little, so by attacking the villager, it allowed him to do damage to that wall segment that was building. And so he was able to, and it's going to happen here again. So every time this takes damage, it drops it back down to what this wall is at. And now that he started that one, as you can see, this one now has 10% HP. And now every hit he hits on this one goes to 10 HP. And then every hit he hits on this one goes to 10. Well, he's not in area to do that one. But, so he'll be able to get this section down. And again, so much wood expended here. And okay, so he's just now getting 700. So he's gotten 2 vills so far. All of this, and just now getting, like, just by picking Lakota, he's this much wood ahead of a regular matchup. So he's just going back, getting stagecoach, gonna age up. Call it a day. Grabbing the TPs, because why not? You could also go House of Jagalian. People need to start using this. Good house. Really good house. Like if you're playing against China and you see him forward block house, build this. You just win on the spot. Alright, so we got the second TP coming in. These villagers are a little bit exposed. Might get a pick. Very nice reaction time. Gonna get one though. And then we have some bow riders coming out. So just a couple bow riders to deter any raiding. We do have a TP going down now. There is no church, so Germany is going to be quite severely XP starved. And then also, he had to go 700 wood first. So, I mean, 50, 100, 150, 200. Just shipments being put into these walls. Which, if Absolute doesn't attack at any point, it's kind of over. Because, I mean, this is just... There's way too much invested into these walls for them to pay, like, get value. Meanwhile, Bow Rider's just making sure that he stays ahead. Ooh. Ooh. How unfortunate that they stopped right there. But they're gonna get away. Breeze can actually push and take this down. So that will be interesting. Let's see what Breeze sees. Again, he still sees those guys hanging out. Yes, like while just going full aggressive. There we go. I mean, there's only 10. Okay, he's got 15 crossbow, 10 pikes, 2 Huss. And Absolute's just going H3. Breeze is scared. Interesting. Like, one of the things is if you see no aggression from Lakota, you can kind of assume that they're gonna go for an FF. So there's age 3 coming in. That means it's go time. Wait. It is. So that's 3 settler wagons coming in now. This is a big raid. I mean, he's gonna catch all these vills. All of these pikemen on these cav as well. I mean, this is as good as you could ask for. All these vills coming back in to fight. Okay, those vills do escape, but this entire army has been cleaned. Well, I thought it had been cleaned. There's more where that came from. There they are. Never mind. Lakota's a good civ. I thought this was a good fight, but now all of the crossbows are going to go down. Yeah, they just have Papal Lancers. They two-shot. They do 60 damage to a nice little catch there with the Boche. Wow, he split 2 off to go catch these ones. 1 up there. Very nice little raid management. The other 2 came here to defend these Ulans. And now Absolute Utopia is in a commanding lead. He made it to age 3. He did lose a villager or 2. But he's had an eco lead this whole game, while Breeze just now caught up in eco by sending those 3 settler wagons. And now Breeze just gets to age up. But he has to go out on the map. There's ice here. So these bow riders get to pick off 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe gets a 5th. Six. 7. 7. Also, this wall segment is dead. Now just running away. Raid coming up in his base. Pikemen won't catch. More bow riders on the other side. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough. Like, the reason why I say Lakota is so good is that they get to choose everything. And they also get map control because they get their explorers super fast, and he gets treasure guardian so he can chase you down. So you can't explore. You're slow to age up because they age at 330. You don't know, is there a war hut in my backyard or not? And in this game there wasn't, so you do this that doesn't pay for itself, and you're just like, I have no idea. And like even once he did figure out, okay, he's not going aggressive, so he went aggressive, but by then he was already age 3. And just like deterring the 3 bill, and then you get 8 bills. Wait, he shipped that. No, he shipped that second. I was gonna say, I was like, you madman. You getting pushed and you ship 8 bills. So he did 3 to call his soldiers then. So 3 Papal Lancers just whoop. Alright. So the series tied up 2-2. And let's hop into game 3. Or 5. Game 5. Game 5. I just need 1 second, guys, and then we can hop into game 5. Okay, are we back? Are we back? Yeah, we're back. Alright, 2-2. Game 5. For all the marbles. Should be interesting. I don't even know what this last matchup is. They both played Italy. Ooh, Spain versus Germany. A classic matchup. However, the matchup has changed quite a bit since the EP days. There we go. Do that. Do this. Switch the person. There we go. Grab more info. And we are all set up. I'm figuring this thing out. So, Germany versus Spain on Anatolia. First, I'd want to think Spain just goes for ATP. Yeah. Germany just does standard Germany stuff. I don't think we'll see Expo Rush. So hunting dogs and a house. So this is Robrot. This is Robrot territory. Robrot, why do you build a house and not a TP? Why are you trying to age up with 14 bills? ATP. Has to be. Has to be the play. It's an ATP angle. The Greek house, not too many people go for it. So 3 age up a little bit faster, eat the cows, go ATP. That's my analysis. Again, cool little optimization. He crack-shotted this. He's not going to use the wood in age 1. So, went to go explore more. Grab treasures. A lot of treasures that spawn in this quadrant, in this top quadrant. Would be really interesting if Absolute walks in here and snags this 45 wood, though. Okay. This is really lucky. So this hunt spawns like right here, and almost always it goes right here. But Absolute being smart, decided to bring this in early. Stealing the cow. Gonna take down the dog. Breeze doesn't, or Absolute doesn't have any dogs, but he's utilizing the 3 dogs that Breeze aggroed earlier. It's important that he keeps this explorer alive. So, with 45 wood in base, I think Breeze could have gone for the TP. Because he's still aged 15 bills. If you eat the 2 cows, you'd age 15 bills. But he's going to go ATP now. Once he's done microing these. Nope. I'll have to think about that later on. So, ATP coming in, some villagers being spread out. He wants to have... do this gnat post. It's going to be almost impossible to get this hunt on the other side of this gnat post, because it started right here. So, like, getting that hunt circle, like, drawing it around will be tough. So he's not going for having the vills build the TPs. He's just going to use his explorer, build 1, 2, 3. Probably all 4. On the other side, standard things from Germany. Going up with aging up with the quartermaster, building a TP. Gonna use the resources to get steel traps. Gonna send 3 Vil first, I'm guessing, or 3 settler wagons first. Oh. Doesn't it cost 130? Ah, it costs 130 now. Expensive TP. So, gonna get 3 TPs. Which, we'll see. We'll see how it works. And then he's also just gonna So you do get 1 extra TP, but you don't get a TP at the start. So your TP curve is a little bit, or your XP curve's a little bit delayed, so your 700 wood's a little bit delayed. And this map is huge. It's just absolutely enormous. Like, actually enormous. So like the walking time from here to here and then down here, like on a regular map, you could get these TPs a lot faster, but because the walking time is so big, it's taking him a little bit of time to get them. He does get the 700 wood in. Stable down, Ulan's coming out. Ulan's can do a little bit of raiding. If he notices that the tower is here, I would just stand here with my Ulans. Not let the barracks be built. Not let him get a forward barracks. Make sure he has to build his barracks at home so that he can't do his early pressure. He does notice that ATP, so he's trying to deny this TP. Also running his vills in, or cav in to make his vills idle. These Ulans will get a lot of information though. So he sees, 700 wood just now. He's like, okay. He's doing the FF. And these are running right back here. Oh no, run here. If he notices this, he can deny. So, denying the TP. He thinks, okay, he's gonna go stagecoach, so I'll go grab another TP. But the barracks will go up. This is one thing that you have your Ulans here. If you know Spain has this forward barrack, or this forward outpost here, you know he's gonna want to put a barracks right next to it. See if you can kill this villager or deny this barracks going up. Usually comes in a little bit earlier than this, usually around 7 minutes. But there are the 4 Hus. And again, this map is gigantic. So travel time from one spot to the other spot, enormous. Cutting it in half with outpost, huge. 5 vills coming in, we've got rods coming in. Even training 5 rods be pretty big. When you do a stable start, 5 rods work wonders for catching these pesky Ulans. So far, that villager couldn't get out of her own way to get into the town center. There is stagecoach coming in. So 4 to 1, but soon to be 4 to 2. And now Bruce can raid. He has rods coming in. And I wonder where he goes from here. Does he go Spanish Gold, or does he do 2 Falc? I mean, he's still age 2. He goes Spanish Gold. Okay. Because if he's still age 2, you might think, oh, we could just do 2 Falcs. Like, Germany is struggling for population early, and you might be able to grab a couple of these houses. Put some pressure on, because he's still age 2. You're definitely going to deny this. The rod's connecting. Very well thought out from Breeze, just to have the rods to say, you can't do anything. This will probably still go up, because that's a tanky boy. And he even got an extra 100 HP. But he's going to burn this down, take it for himself. And then, I mean, he has a really good eco behind this. He has Spanish Gold coming in. Market's going up. All the TP's on wood. Doesn't have to send the 1,000 wood. Decides against burning this down. Making a second Rax. Starting skirms. And then Absolute Utopia is just kind of blind right now. He does have another mine, and then he has another mine after that. But then after that, he's gotta have to push out here. He's gonna want to get to this gold mine. The next gold mines are quite far away. This one's pretty exposed. If he does want to move up this way, he could go this way, but then like his town's kind of exposed. Nice little split fire, gonna pick up. Almost got two. First card. I don't know what he's gonna said. With what he sees, maybe Black Riders. Yep. So Black Riders do well against rods. Rods have no melee resist. Black Riders have melee resist. Even in hand combat, Black Riders can kind of sustain the damage from the rods. Ideally, you never want them to be in hand combat, but you just want them to kite them around. So if he can clear out this mass, he is making pure Ulan. So his idea is, alright, I need to kill the skirm, or the rods. After I kill the rods, Ulans can do their thing. Also expanding up here, which is nice. Picking off a villager, always nice. And kind of just eager to figure out. It's going to come down to a micro battle. Breeze's eco is a bit ahead, maybe 2 or 3 vills ahead, but not light years ahead. The other nice thing is that I guess Breeze is just now getting some marquee techs. Yeah. Yeah, so he has a couple coming in, but not a lot. I mean, he has all the things he needs. Steel traps will get in the food income. He has Spanish gold to deal with his shipment curving. And then double skirms. Double skirms, definitely good. But oh no. This could be a problem, because these can one-shot yep. And once these go down, it's oh no. Absolute Utopia's in trouble. He's snared. Fills are going down, but okay, he's unsnared. Oh. Well, a little bit of a run around. These need to run. Picking up another vill there, picking up a vill here. A lot of idols down here. All of those got cleaned up, so that's a huge trade. Great trade there. Idled the whole town, but you just see 9 more rods getting popped than 8 or 7. 7 from age 2. Probably switch out 12 pikes for 8 rods, but and then pop them right there. Exactly where rods want to be. Slowing down the army, being a nuisance. And then the skirms pick off these Black Riders. Oh, everything's in the corner. Just two Black Riders left. Another Black Rider's going down. Rod's chasing down all of the Ulans. And at this point, the eco gap they're even on eco. Except maybe Breeze is a little bit ahead because he has Spanish gold rolling in. But just the absolute dominance in military right now. So he does have Jaegers coming in. But That last trade was just way too much. Way too much for Breeze here. This is a nice little pick. Like, he'll pick off these three H2 Hus. But rods are showing up. Breeze can drop down a Sable. Oh. So leaving a Vil there. Hoping Breeze doesn't notice that there is 20 more right here. However, he can't go back to this gold mine. The villager's there. If he goes back to this gold mine, it's just GG on the spot. That's what you gotta do on this map. I've seen people do this. The resources are so exposed that if you don't have map pressure, you just kind of lose on Anatolia. I think there's gonna be one last hurrah. Stable down, Lancer's coming out now. And it's looking kind of dire. Whoops. Looking kind of dire. So 5 Lancers being made, 4 being shipped. Knocked him off of this mine. Do we have... We do have 6 Polish winged hussars. We do have 2 heavies. But we don't have a shipment. It's a good volley. Start things off. It's another good volley. All of the rods have been dealt with. Winged hussars might actually be better. But they're just too many. Sell the wood. Sell the wood. Sell wood, pipe, pop war wagons. Ah. Does he sell off the wood? So he does get 3 war wagons out, but that's a lot of Lancers. Also training dogs. Never a bad decision to train dogs. I want to see these winged hussars in action. I mean, there's only 6 of them, but there are... Okay. Goodbye, Vils. Oh, there's only 4 Vils in there. So it's time for the old runaround. I mean, their lance attack is pretty scary. And then afterwards, they still have like an area of attack. Where's his other? Oh, there's. He still has the stable. Always just leaves one behind. I mean, these units are good, but his rods on him. Yeah, that's all she wrote. GG Breeze. So 3-2. Close one. There are a lot of games that could have gone either way. So Absolute Utopia doing well. Let's update the score. 3-2. And then we can also go to the overlay. Put the overlay on for a bit. Let's see, game 2 was Port China. No, that was game 3. Game 3 was Port China. Game 2 was a Italy mirror. Game 5 was Germany versus Spain. And then it was Germany versus Lakota. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Gotta see what's going on, but I think there's one more series to cast. And we'll be with it in just a second. Gonna go figure out what that is, but I'll be right back, guys.